Freddy here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. This episode we'll be taking a look at the MecArmy PT18 that I got from GearBest. GearBest did send me this flashlight for review, however it will in no way influence my review of this flashlight. I will give you both the pros and the cons. If at any time you're interested in this flashlight, I went ahead and provided a link in the description box below. Normally this flashlight is priced at $72.90. However, with the promotion code that I also provided in the description box below, you can get 8% off, so you can get it for $67.07. This flashlight is a 1,000 lumen flashlight that is rechargeable, and it's still highly compact. One other thing that I really like about this flashlight, the battery was included. That's a big deal when it comes to the 18650 battery, since that is not a normal everyday battery for a lot of us. This is the box that the flashlight came in. Lots of good information right there. Lots of good information right there. It also included this user guide, some extra O-rings, a lanyard, the flashlight itself with the battery already installed, and this piece of paper saying you need to remove the protective sheet before you use this flashlight. I'll go ahead and do that right now. So you just go ahead and unscrew the tail cap, and you'll see that there's a little protective sheet right there. You take it out and you replace the tail cap. So this flashlight is powered by 3 CREE XP-G2 emitters, and they're behind what sounds like a piece of glass. However, as you can see right here, it is not anti-reflective. Now these 3 emitters together will put out 1,000 lumens. Now this battery, or this flashlight, is easily charged by just unscrewing the head, and this is something that you want to do when you first get the flashlight. And you can see there is a micro USB port right here. So what you do is you plug in any USB cable right in like this, and you can see how it is red. When it is fully charged, it will turn green. Go ahead and unplug this and replace the head. You can see there is an O-ring right here. You have some nice square threads. They are kind of smooth. Let you take a look at the circuitry in there really quick before we screw the head back on. There is some grease there. That's good. We'll go ahead and take a quick look at the tail cap. If you notice, there are 2 O-rings right here. Again, also some nice square threads, so those square threads are nice and strong. Working our way down, we do have a nice crown bezel, which I like. Let me show you why I like this. I'm going to go ahead and just turn this on, and you can see how, well actually let me turn this up just a bit. You can see how the light leaks around there, so you know you left your flashlight on. Kind of neat. You have a button right here that's a function button as well as the on-off button. I'll go through the operation here shortly. You have some heat fins. You have some nice pineapple texturing. This body is aircraft grade aluminum. And you have your tail cap that really doesn't do anything other than making a good tail stander. Now one thing you may have noticed is there is no clip to this, and it did not come with a holster. So if those things are important to you, just keep that in mind. This does have a lot of protections, including overheat and reverse polarity. This flashlight is waterproof to the IPX8 standard, which makes it waterproof up to 2 meters submerged underwater, which is also 6.5 feet. This is also drop resistant to 1.5 meters, which translates to 5 feet. Length of this flashlight is 3.92 inches. The head diameter is 1.13 inches. The body diameter here is 1.14 inches, which is important for those of you who may want to mount this onto a firearm or something else. This is a very lightweight flashlight. Without the battery, it weighs 2.33 ounces. Also, the working voltage of this flashlight is between 2.5 volts and 8.4 volts. This is kind of important because if you don't have an 18650, you could also put in two CR123 batteries. This flashlight has 6 modes of operation. When you click on the button, it automatically comes into the low mode, which is 10 lumens for 156 hours. If you press and hold it, it'll bump it up to the next one, and that is medium, 100 lumens for 16.5 hours. We'll go ahead and bring it up to high, and that's 330 lumens for 4 hours. Press and hold it again. You get turbo, which is 1000 lumens, and I can feel the heat on my hand, and it does that for 2.8 hours. Now, if I continue to hold it, it will cycle back down and round robin up again. I'm going to lay this down here so you can sort of see the pattern and how it comes out. Since this has 3 emitters, you could see it's not just a straight line like some other flashlights, but you do have a nice defined spot as well as a flood. I'll go ahead and point this down here, and this is where it sort of surprised me. I thought because of those 3 emitters I would get a weird shape here, but I didn't. Basically, you get a nice clear spot and you get a nice flood. The spot to flood ratio is a little bit different here, and the flood is not as defined. The spot is defined, but the flood sort of just fades out as you work out. It's not like a defined edge here on the flood. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, and we could go through some of the other operating modes of this flashlight. You can press and hold this, and it will be momentary, and it does that in the turbo mode. So if I press and hold this button, it comes up in turbo, and then I let go and it goes out. This is the first flashlight I've ever had where the side button acts as a momentary or has a momentary function, so I think that's pretty cool. Press and hold it, it's on that flood, let it go, and it turns off. Now if you double click this, it immediately goes into turbo. Press it once, it goes out. Now if I triple click this, it's going to go into strobe mode. I'm going to give you a little warning for 3, 2, 1 seconds, and I just want to make sure I don't give anybody any seizures, and we'll do this 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and we have a strobe mode. Now if I do a long click while it's strobing, we'll go ahead and do a long click, and now it's going to do SOS. So there are your 6 modes. We're in my backyard, and you can see a fence line out here. That's about 15 yards all the way to almost 20 yards here in the corner. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit the lights, and now we can't see anything, and I'm going to turn on the flashlight. Whoops. And we are in the low mode right there. You can see it really doesn't do too much downrange, maybe slightly. I'm going to go ahead and bump it up. So there is the medium, and you can see it's already shining great downrange. Go ahead and pump it up to high. And turbo. Very, very impressive. Now I'm going to go ahead and sort of move this over, and like I said, you can see there's a nice hot spot, and then you have a flood that sort of just fades off. It's not very defined, so this is a very unique kind of flashlight compared to your normal spot with defined flood. It's basically just white hot in the middle and just fades off as you go outwards. I'm going to go ahead and bring the spot over, and again you could sort of see how it fades off. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around, and I'm going to shine this into some trees over here. I just want you to see how nicely that can get all the way downrange. Oh, I'm hearing something kind of weird. Something's making noise down here. I heard some weird noise. I don't know if I should do this on camera or not, but we're going to go ahead and open this up. Whoop, anything in there? Hearing some weird noises. I don't know what that was. That was scary sounding. Maybe it's in here. Ooh, hello. Okay, we're safe. That was kind of odd, man. That was weird. Alright, so again, we could take a look here. I'm going to go ahead and shine this down some trees. And you can see you can definitely reach out there with no problem. I'll let you see how that light looks sideways. You can see how it's almost like a laser there. And it's definitely reaching out, probably outwards of 100 yards with no problem out there. So this is a flashlight that really surprised me, because I'm very used to seeing flashlights when they have multiple emitters on the front like this. They're cheap. You know, I say, okay, well, they're just trying to throw more emitters in there to try to get a lot of light. They're usually in some sort of budget bucket on a counter in a store or something like that. This is not one of those flashlights. This flashlight really does put out 1,000 lumens. It is extremely bright. And I like how, even though it has 3 emitters, it really does have a nice spot and a nice flood. Now, there are some cons and there are some pros. I'm going to start with the cons because I like to end on the positive note, which is the pros. So for cons, no memory. Let me demonstrate that. When you first turn this flashlight on, it always comes on in the low mode. Now I'm going to press and hold that button and bring it up to the high mode. I'll leave it on for a couple of seconds and I'll go ahead and turn it off. And when I turn it back on, comes back on in low. So no memory mode. It has momentary, but it doesn't have a memory mode, which is kind of fine, because if you know, it always comes on in the low mode, and if you need a bright light right away, you can bring it right up in that turbo mode using that momentary where you press and hold it, or you could just sort of double click it and it also comes up in that turbo mode. So you have access to the lowest and the highest instantly. No clip, no holster. I'm not sure. I've never had a flashlight where they provided neither, so that's kind of strange, but they did give you a lanyard. Okay, so let's talk about the pros. It's rechargeable. It comes with the 18650 battery, and by the way, this charges quite fast. It will charge a totally drained battery in 3 hours, so that is pretty fast. It is lightweight. It has the momentary. It has the nice crown bezel, and since it has the crown bezel, it has the strobe. I consider this a tactical flashlight, and I consider this a very well made, great, lightweight EDC EDC flashlight, if it's okay that it doesn't have that clip and doesn't have the holster. This would make a great flashlight for camping, to keep in the car, or to put into your pocket with the lanyard. I don't know if you might have a clip that you can fix to this or whatnot. Also, this could be a good flashlight to clamp onto a firearm if you have a mount or something like that. I gave you the dimensions, and all those dimensions and all the information that I'm sort of telling you is also in the description box below. Now, also in the description box below is the link to GearBest, so you can purchase this flashlight, and if you use the coupon code that I told you about, you get 8% off, so you can get it right now for $67.07. I think it's a great deal if this is the type of flashlight you are looking for. Okay, well, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really do appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, especially you, and I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye.